So, a lot of you have seen the new Supercraft Brothers update. A lot of you are not happy about it. Heck, I'm not happy about it. And since now that the update's out, I guess it's a good time to talk about basically what happened during the development of this update. So, I was first approached by John several months ago via Engine PM to join this group to help balance out the game. And so, of course, I said yes, and then eventually we got into contact with Felipe and some other Mindcade devs, and the update basically seemed to be coming into full swing. Now, of course, unfortunately, there were quite a few bumps in the journey, but I guess I might as well just talk about 3 here. The first major bump I can think of was the Future Dev incident. Now, for a lot of you who don't know who Future Dev is, he was a legendary craft developer who was moved over to Mindcade for a bit to help out with the update. Now, the thing that Future Dev did was make his own entirely separate list of changes that he was going to implement. And basically, they were all a bunch of random Mindplex type clone things that, frankly, a lot of you probably wouldn't have been happy to see. Thankfully, that got shut down, and the update seemed to be going smoothly for a bit. But then, in the second incident, Felipe initially denied the update the first time, and the docs were leaked onto the forums. Now, reception to the update, the balances themselves were mixed, but thankfully there was enough of an outcry so that there could be a balance update. But unfortunately, we were working on some more limited terms. So, firstly, we had to reduce the number of changes we were going to make. And secondly, we had to help out with the texture pack that he wanted to add. Now, I'm going to go on a tangent about the texture pack for a little bit. Now, it's no secret, but to put it lightly, the texture pack does not look very good. Just, even if you ignore the model quality, all of the models just kind of clash with the non-textured items, and there's a few kind of buggy looking models. Like, for instance, Jeb's Call and the Freeze Ray are both backwards when you're holding them. And some of the swords, instead of being held by the hilt, they're kind of floating in front of your hand. And additionally, there's one other slightly humorous thing that I found in the texture pack that I wanted to add. Just take a listen to this.
Welcome to the Desteria Faction server. We're the #1 ranked faction server, containing many custom plugins and content for you to enjoy. This server has many cool modifications, such as a level system, class system, and much more. Begin your adventure by picking a class in the following portal. After you've chosen a class, start your adventure by going to the wilderness. See you around.
So then I took a look on the aforementioned faction server and found that the base of this pack was stolen from the server. The text is the same, the water's the same, the music files are the same. The models on the weapons are still unique, at least to my knowledge, but I feel like this is something that was kind of worth noting. So anyway, texture pack does not fit with the game, no go. So John, of course, was pretty angry about the way Felipe was just kind of meddling with everything and just wanted everything to go his way and not ours. So that leads into our third conflict, when John posted the thread on the forums basically exposing Felipe for all of the crap he was doing, and just told everyone the truth about what was going on. Then Felipe locked the thread and banned John, somewhat understandably, since I'd assume that an owner wouldn't want changes being leaked. But he also said that the balance team was, quote, unofficial and had zero access regarding anything. He also went ahead and removed all of the changes that John said were going to be added. Now, the thing about this is that if this wasn't real, and if he didn't have access to anything, if you remove all of that, it just kind of raises suspicion that it actually was real. Anyway, after the thread was locked and John was banned, Turtle Blocks posted this video showing off the update and its texture pack, which of course is still just looks terrible, and just kind of proved that that was real, and Turtle Blocks himself got banned from that. And so in response to both of these threads, Felipe created his own thread called Setting the Record Straight, in which he called everyone in the team a bunch of rogue trolls. Now keep in mind, I hadn't said anything up to this point. So, just lumping everyone who was supposedly involved with this fake balance team, even though most of them did nothing wrong, is, to put it bluntly, despicable. He also backpedaled a little bit and said that they actually did have access to the server, but did not have any access to the documents. Now, I've already posted something on my wall that shows the email I got from Trello that said that Felipe had removed me from the development documentation. And I posted 2 videos of one of an unreleased lobby and one of the current lobby that we have now on my wall, which, anyways, both of those videos have been made public on my channel just recently. So basically, we were completely locked out of this update, given no credit whatsoever, even though he took a number of our changes and used them anyway. He tried defending himself by saying that we were making community suggestions and that community suggestions are credited to the community as a whole. But the problem with this is that for every community suggestion that's been accepted on the Super Craft Brothers, none of them are marked as such except for maps, which are given explicit credit to the people who made the map. In fact, that was the case with Voyage, which was recently added. Now we have the update currently. Now, as you can imagine, the update didn't turn out very well. And in fact, when they were holding that test on Friday, it was not received well at all, and it was incredibly buggy. It wasn't even playable. I mean, I'm sorry, Mindcade, but if that follows your game epicness standard, what standards do you have? I'm pretty sure a standard would include the game actually running. And thankfully that was fixed, but we really didn't get that good of an update. First, there were a bunch of classes that were removed. Some of them, like Summoner, I agree with. Some of the YouTube classes are fine to be removed. But a lot of the other classes really had no reason to be removed and probably could have been changed somehow. But I guess Felipe just said remove some classes, so that's what we did. And then removed maps. We also didn't have much of a reason to remove these maps, and in fact, Felipe didn't even follow our suggestions on this. Cherry Grove and Mansion, in particular, were removed, and they were two pretty popular maps. Lost Temple remained, of all maps, and a bunch of community maps were removed, which frankly would be a stab in the heart for people who made them. Anyways, for class changes, Ice stolen from us, Anvil mostly stolen from us, except for the fact that Anvil now has infinite uses. Why? Nowhere on our doc did we say we wanted this, and now people can just run all the way up to the top of Treehouse, fall down, do it all over again, and that's just not fun to just get one shot. And having an infinite amount is bad, frankly. TNT, they made it way too close to chicken. Vampire is what I'm most upset about, because it no longer has a recharge. The changelog that I'm reading here says that the length of the effects depends on how long the player pulls back on the bow. But slowness and poison together are really potent. And once you get one hit, you can pretty much get an infinite number of hits because they're slowed down. So that was not a smart change at all. So you removed all of the risk and only gave it the reward. Bat, can't really comment much on. Magma Cube, stolen from us. Slime, can't really comment. Items were all mostly my fault, so if you hate them, I'm sorry. I mean, the fire stopper wasn't my idea, but... So yeah, pretty much everything was either stolen from us or just is not a good change. Basically, Felipe cared more about the texture pack than the game itself. In fact, he said that the game needed more dazzle, and the fact that it didn't have any dazzle was basically why players weren't playing on Supercraft Brothers. Felipe, you do realize that there's more to a game than just how it looks, right? How did Supercraft Brothers become popular without this texture pack in the first place? I want you to think long and hard about that question. Also, the next time you have any sort of balance team handling your stuff, please just leave it to them. Don't, impose all these dumb rules and stuff. Don't just ignore almost everything and just do whatever you want. Because if you do that, you're likely going to wind up with a similar situation to what happened with this one. I know you're probably not listening, but by the off chance that you are, I really want you to take this into account. Thank you for listening.